So the next motion design principle is called dimensionality. And now this is kind of like what we talked about when using like skeuomorphic behavior to really help people create these mental models about how to use an interface. And now this is kind of where dimensionality really comes in, because we are confined to like a 2D space when we're designing for interfaces. We want to kind of break that mold a bit whenever it seems feasible, whenever it should be done. So let's get right into that. Now, dimensionality implies that different sides of a UI element are linked and makes for seamless screen transitions. And it generally presents itself in three ways. There's origami dimensionality, floating dimensionality, and object dimensionality. Now, it makes it seem as though UI elements have multiple interactive sides, just like objects in the real physical world. So let's take a look at like origami. We see cards being able to kind of flip in like the 3D type of interaction. This is just one example. But this behavior is achieved by making elements appear as if they are kind of foldable, flippable, floating, or, they have some sort of realistic depth in terms of their properties. Let's take a look at this example over here. This is floating. So seeing kind of cards float, we do see this kind of a lot, especially currently in terms of the type of trends that are happening in UI design, big shadows behind cards. Dimensionality really provides a powerful way to kind of overcome that flatland non-logic, of user experiences where, you're confined to that 2D space. Now, floating dimensionality really helps give interface objects a spatial origin and a departure, making the interaction models intuitive and highly narrative. Let's take a look at another example. This is the third type of dimensionality, which is called object dimensionality. Now, this one's really interesting. Like if we were to think of, this is now, instead of a 2D interface, this is kind of like a cube that is being, rotated over and over again. So it allows us as humans to kind of understand that, because we do understand whether it's like a Rubik's Cube or just like a box, we understand that it has different types of sides, and this is kind of adhering to that mental model that we already have in our head. Object dimensionality results in dimensional objects with true depth and form.